All right, I'm I'm back with the new choices and everything. Oh, okay, whatever. It doesn't show like the how I left people. No, but it said relationships and choices, not just. Oh no. I wish I could see, but it's not letting me. Uh, that's kind of shit. Oh, there it is. There we are. Let's check the episode 3 one. Oh, I no, we've already seen these. I can't believe a lot of people did that. I feel like that was a big turning point for a lot of people. It would be hard not to do that. Livid. She was combative when you made excuses about how poorly things went with the pact. I hope she has a mental breakdown. When you're insensitive to people who have mental issues, you deserve to know what it feels like to go crazy. You irritated Waller when she said she shouldn't use the Sanctus tank. Rightfully so. She became livid after you sat with John on the bridge. Yeah, because it's really embarrassing when a clown with mental disorders that had no parents, no job, no understanding of the real world besides a criminal crush is still more reasonable and understanding than this thing I'm looking at. Creature. Who she thinks she is? How can you be outclassed by a clown when you're the director of an agency? Oops, I'm sorry. Reflective. Yeah, when she brought up the guns, that was like to build your own gun and to use it against criminals. She must have been thinking that, um, you know, I'm gonna kill people outside of the law. It's well, she did lose her parents too. What if this is a little fucked up, but what if instead of Batman, no, not instead, but like you know how Batman uses guns? I mean, doesn't use guns because his parents were killed by guns. That was like one of his reasons, and because guns are weapons that cowards use, which is arguable. But like, what if she doesn't use explosions? Yeah. Whoa. That looks weird. Like that doesn't look right. The face is so like fucked up. You and 64% of players set John down the path of being a vigilante. He was despondent when you said you were trying to help in the subway. He appreciated that you allowed him to leave to find Harley by himself. You have earned John's trust and he has vowed that the two of you would clean Gotham up together. He looks so ugly. That's not John. John has bigger eyes, a smaller chin, which is... I don't want to look at that. That's weird. Proud. That's good. Gratified, apologetic, got to express. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, cool. I guess that's the episode. This little mini episode. John being the vigilante looked so weird. Anyway, this is more like a just a short little story. What? I didn't want to be here. Yeah, I still don't know who killed the Riddler. Oh, it was probably the agency. The agency. That actually makes a lot of sense. Or somebody outside of control. But they're throwing a lot of stuff at us, which makes me believe that there's gonna be a part 3 with like Suicide Squad and maybe the Joker being a hero. Tiffany. It seems like there's supposed to be part 3, but because this company went underground, because again they didn't. I like the company, but apparently they weren't paying the workers long enough. I mean, they weren't paying the workers enough. They like spat out like a bunch of games back to back that didn't sell, and they kind of fired a lot of people without telling them they were getting fired, and they didn't give them any compensation. And this all happened in the middle of one of their most anticipated games, and they had to let somebody else take over and finish the game. I'm not sure. They were supposed to announce another game that I made. I mean, that I recorded the part 2 of. It was The Wolf Among Us, but that's ending. Uh, Game of Thrones is ending. I wonder if if Mr. Freeze would allow his wife to go crazy as long as she's alive. It feels like she cares so much about her life that he forgot everything else about her. But, mm, maybe, maybe somebody else would take up like the plot and the script. Like the people who lost their jobs can still get jobs somewhere else. And I'm not sure how much this thing sold, but I it's really well made. The first one wasn't that good in terms of craftsmanship, but it's pretty good in terms of like story. They're amazing in story because people love Batman, and I'm surprised that they made a Batman game like this. Like usually the big Batman games have been like the Arkham series, and a lot of people who I'm talking to, won't understand a lot about this. But like the Arkham game is like the Batman game. Like it's like a 3D, like you could fly around and fight criminals and stuff like that, with its own story and its own universe and stuff like that. And I expected any other Batman game to be like just those companies or just that company. But now they made one that has an amazing story that shows way more about Batman than just the Arkham game. Because in the Arkham games, you only play as Batman. You never play as Bruce Wayne. And all you do is like fight and beat people up. You don't really make decisions. It's more like just, fucking people up. But now I actually feel like I'm not just Batman, which the other one made me feel really well. I feel like I'm also Bruce Wayne, and I have to choose between one or the other. But when it comes to relationships, there's nothing in the Arkham games that come close to this. Like Batman's totally different in the Arkham games. He's an ass. He's brutal. He's cruel. Um, I remember um, he would interrogate people, and after they told him what he wanted, he would still break their arms and stuff, and you didn't have a choice to do that or not. Like, the Batman in the games is like brutal. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, I play those games and I'm like, okay, I'll be the Batman. I'm not playing this to hurt people. I'm not playing this to let off steam. I'm playing this to understand what you need to do when you're a hero who takes care of criminals. And the things he does are like brutal. Like I've thought about fighting and like taking down like criminals and stuff like that before, but I never thought about like breaking bones or tying people up from walls and throwing them off or hitting them with fucking batarangs and shit like that, or shocking them or suffocating them. I could do suffocating. That's fine. It's like going to sleep. I've been suffocated. But like I heard that when you break somebody's bones, you don't only feel the bone break, you also feel the muscle tear. Like if you like some of the moves he does are like jujitsu moves, and one of his most common ones that he ends up doing is he ends up going for the leg and he ends up um, dislocating the knee. And I heard that when you dislocate the knee, it sounds like you could hear the muscle and bone just twisting in the knee, and he does this in an instant. And not only that, but these people are like they're criminals. They're Blackgate prisoners, which is like death row in in the Gotham City. It's like death row. All those are dead. Some of them have raped, uh, killed, tortured, robbed. Anything to get a death penalty. Probably multiple times. But when it comes to hand-to-hand combat versus a superhero, I always feel like if you're strong enough to take them all, and you know you are, you shouldn't resort to brutality, because then you're just somebody bullying. But at the same time, it's not a challenge. Like it's not like a martial artist challenging another martial artist. It's a group of criminals who are threatening to destroy the city and kill people versus a person who's trying to stop them. So at that point, I understand that any means necessary, as long as they're not dead, is fine. But it's more confusing. Batman's philosophy is more blurred in those games, but his brutality is more necessary. Like you just straight up beat the fuck out of Harley Quinn. Like she starts cartwheeling at you, and you just grab her leg and slam her into the wall like head first, and she's like dazed on the fucking floor. And then Joker, there's this one scene in Arkham Origins where you just beat the living shit out of Joker. Like after, okay, he really does like twist you though. Like he makes the Joker toxin. He threatens to kill people unless you do certain things, and then he does it anyway. He I don't think he hired him. No, he didn't hire the killers. But he fucks people with like poison and torture and psychological trauma and stuff like that. He's pure evil in that game. And like when you finally see him, he's like pissed you off so much that Batman lets like all his anger out on Joker. Like he just beats him up like so brutal and punches him out a window, and then while he's while he's falling, he's still hitting him, and then you play as the Joker for a little um like a little cutscene almost, like to show how the Joker feels. And it said that it's the Joker when he fell into the chemical thing, and then he became the Joker. And he uh, he goes through that time where he saw Batman chasing him, and then he blames Batman for his condition, his mental and physical condition. And then he goes into this philosophical like standpoint where Batman's the only thing in life that has ever scared him after that fact, but it's the only thing that makes him feel like alive. And it's almost the only thing that keeps him into reality, because the Joker really doesn't care about death, but Batman makes him feel like he should be alive because Batman wants him to. It's really weird how Batman's almost saving Joker from death, but not saving him mentally. And then there's also the thing with Batman's more like a lethal takedowns, like when you jump off a ceiling and smash through a roof and then land on somebody, smashing their head onto a desk. Like, that might not kill somebody, but it might cause some brain damage. So if I wanted to be Batman, I would need to fight ruthlessly, which is something I don't like doing because it's almost tipping the balance of the hero aspect that Batman's trying to do. Like punching somebody, like when before I started fighting, punching and kicking on TV and stuff like that was really cool. But then I started fighting, and then I've started to feel what it's like not only to get punched and kicked and how much that hurts, but I started to feel what it's like to hurt somebody. Like when you punch somebody in the cheek and you feel their teeth through your glove. That's weird. It's intimate. I'm inside his mouth for a split second. Or when you kick him in the leg and you feel their muscle tighten up right when you kick them. Or when you're submitting them and you feel that you have a choke and you could feel that their blood is stopping in their neck. That's intimate too. So this intimacy, it's almost like I'm touching something inside someone. To cause somebody pain is like you're touching inside. And I'm okay with that. And it's not a bad feeling. Like, it's almost like a sense of empowerment to touch something like that. But like for Batman to do it to so many people over and over again, it must get in his head. Knocking teeth, breaking skulls, breaking bones, legs, shocking people, suffocating them, freezing them. But when you do knock somebody out, they don't feel anything until they wake up, and then their head stays. And these people have killed people. They've raped. They'll kill Batman. They'll kill Bruce Wayne. They make fun of his parents. None of them are redeemable. That's what death row is. And I've seen videos of actual criminals in death row, and it's sad to watch them. Like they do this on purpose. They show you their cell and everything, and they ask them how they're doing, and some of them seem like reformed, like they're like fine, and they're like just like people, like almost like people you see like behind the desk at like the DMV or something, or like in a waiting room. They look normal, like civilized, but then you see the charges, and then you understand why the death row exists. Like this one dude, he was a barber in jail for like fucking 40 years, and he looked nice. He looked like he was enjoying his job. He was giving people a service. He would talk very often with his clients, I guess. But what he was charged for was kidnapping, like a group kidnapping. Um, and you can't let people like that go, not free. If you can't torture them, if you can't break their bones, you can't let them go free. So if I was Batman and I saw this dude kidnapping somebody, I wouldn't torture him, but I'd hurt him. I don't. You could get lost in your emotion. It's easier to distance yourself and act like the hero when you're away from people, but once you see something in person, it becomes like wild to feel something. Like I've always liked to think of myself as somebody who can't be bothered because I don't care about trivial shit. And you guys could talk shit about me, whatever. I don't really care because I know who I am. As long as I don't care about you, I don't care what you think about me. So this dude, I'm gonna start downloading the next episode. This dude, I was just walking to Subway and then I walked back. I didn't take a car, and this dude yelled out the window of his truck at me. And he said something, I don't know, but he had some bitch in his eye that like he was trying to talk shit, but he's in a fucking car. He's driving away. I can't fucking do anything to him. I didn't even hear what the fuck he said, so even if I could say something to him, it wouldn't be anything. So, good lord. So, wow, look at that screen. So like, that was just like just some dude talking to me. But in my blood, I want to like beat the shit out of this guy, because who the fuck insults somebody when they don't know them, when they're just walking around? What I want to say is, he saw that I was wearing a tank top and he got jealous of me, and he felt insecure, and he felt like he needed to say something to me, but he couldn't deal with the shit, so he waited until the fucking light turned green to stick his fucking head out of the truck and then yell at me. And that shows so much. Not only does it show weakness, but it shows insecurity, if that's what I'm thinking. If I made him insecure because I'm just another dude who's around his age who has muscles, and this fuckhead is all he has is the passenger seat of this truck at the moment, he's probably gonna be some sort of bitch. But then when I think about beating him up, or like choking him out or something, I probably wouldn't break his bones. But when I think about shit like that, I think about what it actually means to me as a person. It means that if I was given the chance, I would take my anger out as much as I want. Which isn't good, because if I just wanted it more, I would end up hurting people more than I should. Which is supposed to be more than they deserve, based on my emotions that might go overboard. So when it comes to Batman being Batman and seeing criminals who are responsible for the death of his city and his parents to some extent, I understand why he would want to take out his lifelong anger of losing his parents. And also, I haven't lost my parents, so I don't have the drive he has. But I could fight for the pure virtuousness of stopping crime. but it will still be hard for me to, because some criminals had families, whether they were intentional or not. They might have a father. I mean, they might have a son that doesn't know who the dad is, and the mom was a one-night stand and she didn't believe in abortions or something. Something that simple could get in my head and make me not want to break his arm. But then again, people are not responsible. I mean, people are responsible for their actions no matter what happens in their past. And if they're insane, they need help. But they need to be incapacitated. And being knocked out doesn't hurt that much. What hurts more is not being knocked out. That's what hurts. Anyway, it's gonna be it. Later.